Howdy folks, I'm appreciative Aphrodite for Tillery, adoringly adorning adorable aphids.
I'm Amber.
And here are more adorable aphids for us to adorn. And what are we adorning them with? We are certainly not adorning them with ladybugs, because that would be a disaster. Well, let's get started.
I just assumed maybe little grass crowns or something.
Little leaves where they're eating their own crowns. And folks, we have a live stream coming up on Friday. For more information, please see the end of the video. And also, folks, I do want to apologize. I was supposed to put a blooper reel in yesterday's episode, but somehow I got distracted and I didn't actually censor my video and whatnot, so you all heard me swear, so I apologize for that, though some of you were quite amused by that. Let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Letting My Ex-Boyfriend Dump Me When He Thought That I Had Massive Debt? I have been keeping an Excel workbook for years that I use to organize my personal finances. Every month it shows a total expense and a total paid and a total remaining. It's not only helpful for budgeting and remembering when stuff is due, but also removed a ton of anxiety that I have around money and the nightmares that I used to have that I would forget to pay something important. I used to have panic attacks, but they were cured by Excel. Every month, I put in about half of my money that I make into a savings account, an IRA, an health savings account, vacation savings, quarterly tax savings, and emergency funds. My only debt is about $500 of a surprise $1,500 vet bill and my car loan, which has a payment of about $200 per month, which will be paid off next year. I could pay off the car and vet bill right now. But having an emergency cushion that could pay off all of my bills for 3 to 5 months makes me feel safe. I give myself weekly allowances of about $150 that I can spend however I want. Dates, movie, going out with friends, etc. Since my ex and I were becoming a little more serious after about 6 months, we had a discussion where we decided that if things progressed, our finances would be separated, and if we moved in together, we would both pay half of the expenses. This would save us both a lot of money monthly. Well, he used my laptop where I keep my Excel document minimized, and he accidentally brought it up, and this is where the conflict begins. I put everything on my credit card every month. I really want to be able to travel and get miles rewards, and this is the only way that I can justify the expensive flights to places that I really want to explore. I put everything, rent, groceries, gas, utilities, and even my quarterly taxes on it. And last year I was even able to redeem a ticket for a friend to go with me to France. I covered all of the flights as well as half of the Airbnb. I can't put the car payment or vet bill on the card, but everything else goes on my miles card, which I then pay off a couple of days after paying my bills when the balance settles. I put the amount that would generally equal my credit card balance after paying the bills in the spreadsheet as well, mainly as a reminder to pay off the balance because I'm paranoid that I'll forget to pay it once a month. Remember, this is therapeutic spreadsheets. However, he saw all of my expenses laid out and the total at the bottom and thought that the expenses were nearly double what they were since the total includes the credit card payment. I guess he also assumed that the credit card payment was the monthly payment or something, which would have made the balance ridiculous. He also noted that I had a Macy's and Victoria's Secret and a Best Buy line in the spreadsheet, and he assumed that I had maxed out the retail cards, although the amounts to pay were at zero. I just leave them there to remind me of the due dates in case I use them to get something discounted. So he stewed on it for days, and then he sat me down and he said that he had been thinking about what he found, and he told me that he couldn't stay with me if I was going to be irresponsible, and if I didn't start calling every credit card that I had right then and there in front of him to cancel and shred the cards in front of him, then he would break up with me. He kept talking over me about it, and I tried to tell him about my savings and the fact that my actual debt is less than $4,000. He didn't believe me. He called me a liar and said that he couldn't trust me, so he dumped me. I cried with some friends who were shocked, since I have sat down with several of them who have asked to help me set up similar systems of their own to help pay down their debt and start saving. I guess the truth got back to him, and he was mad that I quote-unquote let him break up with me. Even though he makes more than me, I am much better off than him apparently, and he's really upset because if we had moved in together, I would have been able to completely cover my half of the bills, and he would have liked that, and I had a pretty large chunk in savings. And I had told them that I would get us both tickets to Italy for our 1-year anniversary. I honestly don't know if I'm the jerk or not. I could have explained the situation more clearly and calmly and been a little more forthcoming and transparent with my finances from the start. However, the moment that I was confronted, I felt completely blindsided. I felt like my privacy had been violated, and I felt like I had received an ultimatum without even hearing me out, and it was a deal breaker for me. But now my friends are expressing that I may be passing up a nice guy over a misunderstanding, and that if his assumptions were correct, he would have been right. I feel like I don't want to spend time with someone who would talk to me that way, but maybe I should work a little harder to make it work. Am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. None of this is okay. Like, even if OP had been in debt, he did not approach the situation in a good way. It would have been one thing to be like, oh, OP, I accidentally saw your spreadsheet and I'm concerned about your debt. Can we talk about this? I could help you make a repayment plan.
Yeah.
Like, something like that would have been totally fine. But the way he went straight to ultimatums, you need to call your credit card company now and, cut off all your cards. You need to literally cut them up physically in front of me, or I'm breaking up with you. Not letting OP get a word in edgewise. Like, is this going to be what happens anytime they don't see eye to eye? Is he's just going to talk over her?
Well, yeah, and that's what it seems like. He's going to steamroll her. He's not going to listen to her. And that's the big problem I have here, is that he didn't sit down with a calm conversation and say, I really accidentally saw your credit card. I didn't really, your balance. I didn't really put much, I didn't snoop much, but I did happen to see, like, you have really big balances, and I'm kind of concerned about that. Are you doing okay financially or something like that, right?
Yeah, well, and just with how quickly he threw away the relationship too, like, more than anything, he's probably just realizing that he missed a pretty sweet gravy train.
Yeah. Well, I do think that that's the case here. I think that he saw an opportunity to break up with OP and he took it, and because he just made assumptions, I guess. And I don't know, like, if she's buying him tickets to Italy, you would have to think that she would be somewhat financially responsible.
I mean, there are some people who have massive debt and
Well,
like live outside their means, but he again did not approach this in the way of a kind, compassionate partner.
yeah. Well, he really didn't, and that's the biggest problem I have.
He's acting like an overbearing parent more
Yeah.
than anything.
Well, that's it. He's talking down to her like she's some kind of child, where she needs to be disciplined and learn a lesson about, finances and stuff like that. And he's going to teach her to be a responsible adult or something like that, right?
Yeah, and do you really want to be in a relationship with someone who doesn't see you as their equal, but as a childlike person?
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Cat2025 asks you, Sleuthbot, if OP is a bot or not. And Bot Sleuth says, analyzing user profile, time between account creation and oldest post is greater than 2 years. Suspicion quotient 0.15. This account exhibits one or two minor traits commonly found in karma farming bots. While it's possible that OP is a bot, it's very unlikely. And OP replies, thank you, bot, for saying that I'm unlikely to be a bot. If I am a robot, no one's told me yet, and my dog doesn't seem to mind, so I guess it wouldn't really matter. I'm curious what the minor traits are. However, this is a bot vouching that I'm not a bot. How can either of us be trusted? Just kidding. Thank you. I don't know why, but this cracked me up and brightened my morning. I, too, am a bot. Beep, beep, boop, bop. And OCD Jennifer says, can you DM me a copy of your spreadsheet? I could really use something like this. And OP replies, I'm not really sure how. It's a workbook that I've had since 2016, and it's pretty specific to me. It would be easy to make it yourself, though. The first column is the date, the second is the name, veterinarian, Verizon, etc., and the third is the amount due. Then a column of yellow to help with spacing. Then the amount paid. The next column is the date, and the last is the total due, which is the amount due minus the amount paid, so it will zero out as you pay. I copy and paste each month into a new tab, and I change the month for each due date. I also keep a column with my annual expenses, like my car tab on the far right, and I check them each month, and I add a row for them if they're due. I think maybe the spreadsheet really helped me feel like I was in control. And I mean, that is a pretty good approach to, a finances spreadsheet. Alternatively, instead of having a amount paid type of column, you can always have a credit or debit type of column where you basically say, well, here's how much I have due, here's a credit, here's a debit type of thing, and then that way you can kind of have everything paid off as you go along. Or I mean, I guess maybe OP's works really well because it doesn't sound like they have like auto pay or bill pays on. Like Amber and I, we have like automatic pay set up for basically everything.
Everything we can.
Yeah. So, and the reason why I do it that way is because I just don't want to deal with the stress of having any of my finances, like,
Having
bills
to remember all these different bills to pay.
And so any bill that I can get auto paid, I just set it up as auto pay, and then I just check my balance on a monthly basis on my credit card, and then I pay off the full balance on the credit card every month, which is also auto paid.
Yeah.
So I mean, it all works out really well for us in that respect because we get the points from the credit card, but then we pay off the full balance and we don't pay any interest on the credit card.
Right. And I think that's the key thing to a system like that is it only benefits you if you're actually paying off the balance before it's due, so you're not getting charged interest.
Yeah. And the thing is this, like a credit card isn't going to work for everyone, right? And sometimes people just need to pay cash, right? And if a credit card becomes like too much of a temptation for you, and if you feel like you're just going to spend money because you have the credit line, then don't get a credit card, right? Like it's better if you know that you're going to spend the money, if you have it available, don't get a credit card if you know you're going to just max it out every month and then have to pay interest on it. But if you can be disciplined and not spend that money and just pay off your bills and stuff like that as you go along, then you'll be fine using a credit card like this, right? It is like a double-edged sword because you can earn the points, you can earn extra money and cash back and stuff like that, but you also have that line of credit that's open that you can spend, so you could get yourself into trouble. And forward incident 7379 says, what kind of nice guy would not hear your side of the story before jumping to a conclusion? And OP replies, my friends think that if I would have had a spending problem, though, he would have been right trying to stage an intervention. It only went wrong because the way my spreadsheet is laid out, it looked like I was paying down a massive credit card. But the thing is that I don't think he would have been right even if OP was in massive debt here.
Well, that's it. Like, he didn't handle the situation well regardless. Like, you still need to treat your partner like an adult and like a person of like who's competent.
Yeah.
You don't get to talk down to them just because you don't like how they're handling their finances.
Well, and their finances are split. Right? So if they were to move in together, as long as OP is paying their half of the bills, then there's no problem, right? It doesn't matter how they spend their money. It's up to them. Now, it becomes a problem if OP can't cover their half of the bills, right? So I do think that it is important, if you do think that your partner is going to have a hard time spending, setting aside money for the bills, to have a sit-down discussion about how they can handle that situation. Like, say, allocating something from your paycheck every month into a joint account that can be used for bills. And By the Brook 88 says, do you want to be in a relationship with somebody who doesn't trust you? You dodged a bullet, not the jerk. And OP replies, this is what I thought too. If he would have just talked it over with me, I would have understood. But I hated the way he talked over me and wouldn't let me explain. I hit the point where I was crying and I couldn't even express myself, but he kept talking over me. It made me feel like a kid being punished. And Scammer C says, he was punishing you like an irresponsible child. You just finally saw the you he sees. Now he's blaming you for it because he's not going to apologize to an irresponsible child, is he? And OP replies, ew, thank you for this, no sarcasm. It was really bothering me the way he was treating me, but I couldn't put my finger on why, but you nailed it. He was treating me the way he thought I deserved based on who he thought I was. I feel really gross now. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Expecting My Daughter to Replace the Necklace That I Bought for Her? I bought my 28-year-old daughter a gold necklace for her birthday. Several £100s, pretty but plain. She wore it every day and she loved it, in her own words. She admitted that one day she lost it at the gym and she was gutted because she never took it off. It must have been caught in her hoodie and snapped and then dropped off somewhere. So she wanted to know where, when, and how much it was purchased for so she could claim it on her house insurance. I asked her if she was going to replace the necklace and she said no. She bought a $35 necklace that doesn't stain her skin and she's quite happy with that. I bought her a gift, and now I'm feeling a bit miffed that the money was just absorbed into day-to-day expenses instead of having something nice that would have lasted a lifetime. And be a reminder of the gift that I gave her as a mom and could be an heirloom. She doesn't want kids, so maybe that's why she doesn't understand why the necklace could have had more of a meaning than just a thing that she owned for a little while. Am I the jerk for feeling a bit sad about this? All right, folks, what do you think?
I mean, you're not in the wrong for having feelings, but it's all about how you express it. I don't think it's fair to expect her to rebuy the necklace. It seems like she appreciated the gift and unfortunately lost it.
Yeah.
But that's about as far as you can go. You can feel a little sad it got lost, but it was a gift you gave, and you can't put conditions on gifts.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem I have here, is I think that OP's right to feel a little sad and disappointed by this. I mean, but would OP have felt sad and disappointed if the necklace had just been lost and then nothing recovered out of it, right? So I think that OP needs to look at it from that perspective. Like, this was a gift, it got lost, and unfortunately, that's just the reality sometimes. I feel bad because OP did spend a lot of money on a gift and wanted to be something that she could remember her by. And it just kind of shows that maybe OP will have to look at finding her a different gift at this point in time. But I don't know. I don't think she's wrong for feeling sad, but I don't think she can control the way her daughter spends her money.
Well, that's it. Like, she's allowed to feel her feelings, but she should not keep pushing the issue.
But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Not Getting My Boyfriend a Birthday Present? So my boyfriend, a 33-year-old male, and I, a 25-year-old female, have been together for 8 months. I'm putting myself through school, and I'm working towards getting my 3rd degree. Because of this, I'm super broke, and I penny pinch any way that I can. My boyfriend is settled in his career with disposable income, so we have different habits when it comes to spending money. Our finances are completely separated. His birthday was last week, but I didn't get him a physical gift because all of the things that he really wants or needs are wildly outside of my budget. Instead, I woke up super early in the morning and I made him a big, special breakfast. French toast, eggs, bacon, coffee, and I brought it all to him in bed. He's the type to work even on his birthday, so I also made him a special packed lunch, grilled cheese sandwich with pesto, mozzarella cheese, veggies, the works, and rice on the side. While he was at work, I cleaned the whole house, I swept, I dusted, I mopped, I picked up, and I organized. And then I made his favorite dinner, penne vodka. And I organized movie night with all of his favorites. When he got home, I gave him a handwritten birthday card before we ate dinner and watched the movies. I also planned a surprise party that weekend with his friends and family, which I also cleaned up everything afterwards. And I thought that we had had a great time, but he admitted to me yesterday that he was upset and felt unimportant because I didn't get him an actual present. I reminded him about my financial situation, and he said it wasn't about the cost of the gift, but the gesture behind giving something, and it could have been something small. I asked him if everything I did wasn't enough of a gesture, and he said that wasn't the point. Now we're both upset with each other. So am I the jerk for not getting my boyfriend a physical birthday present? Edit, I see a lot of people talking about love languages and communication. I agree, those are super important. My love language is actually physical touch, not acts of service like a lot of people are guessing. I know his love language is gifts, so I thought a handmade card would be enough along with everything else. I'm just confused and upset. I tried to go above and beyond, but due to the fact that my budgets are constrained, it meant that I wouldn't be able to get him a gift that wasn't from like a dollar store. I like the comments about the craft gifts. I think those are good alternatives, and I'll talk to my boyfriend about that and see what he thinks. I hope this is just a communication issue. A lot of people are asking about using the money that I spent on food for a gift instead. The money that I spent on food was part of the grocery budget. It's my money that I would have spent anyways. I just factored in his favorite things, plus I used a small bit from his fridge. My budget was, and continues to be, very tight. All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. You gave him a gift. You gave him a very thoughtful gift. And if he is upset about not giving him like something of monetary value, that you might be learning that he's more materialistic. Like, first of all, OP made him a card, which is a gift in itself. But then OP made him breakfast, she made him a special lunch, she made him a special dinner, cleaned the whole house, planned out a movie night for him, and hosted a party with his surprise party with his friends and family. Like, I love gifts. Yeah, I don't have one love language. I love all the things. I just love feeling loved. But if someone were to throw me a party, plan like special things for me, that's a gift in its own right. And I can't imagine expecting someone who is on a budget to go out there and spend money on a gift.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think you hit a lot of the points here. What what she did here would be classified as a gift. Plain and simple. It's something that he didn't have that he got. An experience is still a gift, right? If you take somebody on a trip to another country, that's not a physical gift, but it's still a gift.
Right. You don't have to buy them a souvenir from the gift shop for it to count.
Yeah. So I think that she is right. She did do something that was a nice gift for him, and that he's just being materialistic. And this isn't about love languages. This is just about him wanting more stuff. Does he really need something from the dollar store to clutter up whatever shelf he has? Is that going to make him feel that much better? No, it isn't, right? This is just about being picking at small things at this point in time.
Right. I would understand his upset if she had forgotten the day, but she went above and beyond to make the day special for him.
Mm-hmm. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here. And Amber, she has a joke. Or does she? She doesn't have a joke. That was the joke itself.
I have a joke. My document restarted itself.
So Amber's document restarted itself, and that's the joke. The punchline is very funny. I am laughing. Ha ha.
What kind of photos do Santa's helpers like to take?
Santa's helpers like to take photos of Santa's Excel spreadsheet and then use it to blackmail him later. And that's the joke. The joke is, haha, blackmail's funny. Haha.
Elfies.
Oh, Elfies. That makes sense.
It's National Selfie Day.
Oh, so go take a selfie of yourself and send it to a friend. And I have the special guest tea. It's a lavender tea. I'll tell you what type it is here. I actually brought the package in today. This is a honey lavender stress relief soothing serenity blend. I'm going to need all the stress relief that I can have while reading these Reddit stories. It's not too bad. It does taste like lavendery. I can't taste the honey, but I do taste a mint flavor in there, and I don't know if that's just mint leaking into the tea. It might be. Let's see what it says on the back here. The ingredients are organic Rubio's leaf, organic chamomile. Oh no, I'm about to fall asleep. Organic lemon balm leaf, organic lemongrass, organic spearmint leaf. There we have it, folks. There's the spearmint. Organic peppermint leaf, organic lavender flower, organic sage leaf, organic passion flower plant extract, organic lavender flower, organic lemon myrtle flavor, organic stevia leaf. Oh, there's some sweetening in here too. Organic vanilla flavor and organic honey flavor. There you go. Honey flavor. I don't know what that means. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Spectacular Saturday. I hope your Saturday is going better than the people in these Reddit stories. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it on money and gifts.
Gifts don't have to be monetary to be valuable.
I think that is a good piece of advice. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.